All right, welcome back to the channel. So Manny Pacquiao reportedly is about to pick his next opponent, and it most likely is going to wind up being a duck of Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford in the new-fangled way. Because yes, there is a new way that people go about ducking the best people in their weight class, but yet still look like they've achieved something incredible. Let's talk about what that is and Manny Pacquiao, the reported plan of Manny Pacquiao to do just that in this video. All right, welcome back. So, Manny Pacquiao, the great champion, according to some what I consider to be, delusional lists, either the first or second greatest fighter of all time. He is a 6-division weight world champion. Some people say 8, but if you really go look, it's only 6. Now, only 6 is something, right? 6 is a lot, right? But if you listen to certain people, they'll tell you that he has 8. He doesn't. He has 6. Now, he was going for, the rumor is that he is now going to go for his 9th to fight for the middleweight championship of the world against Gennady Golovkin. Right? Sounds great, doesn't it? Sounds great. Sounds like, wow, he moved up from 100 and whatever, he started at 115, and he moves all the way up to win a title at 160. He must be the greatest fighter ever. That's the pitch, right? Now, have we seen this pitch before? Absolutely we have. We've seen this just last year with Canelo Alvarez. When Canelo Alvarez, who started off at 154 pounds, moved up to 160 pounds and won a title at 160 pounds to become a 2-division champion. Then he goes to 168 to fight for a WBA title at 168 pounds, and he becomes a 3-division champion. Then he moves up again and he fights Sergey Kovalev, the Crusher, former top pound-for-pound fighter, and he defeats him to become a 4-division champion with his belt at 175. He must be the greatest. So you hear this, right? See that story? But there's a problem with it. There's a problem with it. And it can be illustrated by the career of Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. moved up from 175 pounds to heavyweight. He did not fight a guy that he was supposed to be his mandatory. Now, Antonio Tarver did lose to somebody that kind of messed up the fight. And so Roy Jones Jr. wasn't able to fight Tarver. At that time, he didn't fight him before he moved up to heavyweight to do something that was at the time considered monumental. He went to become the heavyweight champion of the world by beating John Ruiz. What happened after, though, Roy Jones Jr. fought and won the heavyweight title from John Ruiz? He moved down and got knocked out by Tarver. He moved back down and lost to Tarver. If you also look at the career of Roy Jones Jr., Roy Jones Jr. had more difficult fights for him at 160 than he had with John Ruiz at heavyweight. Bernard Hopkins being the perfect example. A good, tough, close fight that Roy Jones Jr. pulled out, but most certainly not easy money for him. But easy money at heavyweight with John Ruiz. I wonder why this is, right? Why? Because just because weight means something in boxing, but it's not the only thing that matters. Weight matters and size matters in boxing, but it's not the only thing that matters. And you can look underneath, lift the hood on these fights, lift the hood and look at it and see what you're looking at. And so for this particular incidents, instance, let's open the hood and look underneath it at Manny Pacquiao versus Gennady Golovkin. Is it a tough fight? Very well could be for Manny Pacquiao. But who is Gennady Golovkin? Gennady Golovkin, my friend, Gennady Golovkin is Sergey Kovalev. Gennady Golovkin is to Gennady Golovkin is to Manny Pacquiao what Sergey Kovalev is to Canelo Alvarez. Gennady Golovkin is obviously a washed fighter. He lost to Canelo Alvarez. I think he lost to Canelo Alvarez twice, and that was 3 years ago. The first one was in 2017, and he was getting long in the tooth back in 2017. Gennady Golovkin has not looked impressive against a top fighter in at least 4 years. 4 years. He did not look impressive. He didn't look impressive against Danny Jacobs. He did not look impressive against Canelo Alvarez. He lost to Canelo Alvarez in the second fight, easy money. And I don't care and I'm talking about what you see in the ring, not what people are chatting about outside the ring. He lost to Canelo Alvarez twice. He then fights Sergey Deverenchenko, and many people thought he lost to Sergey Deverenchenko. He is not the top 160 pounder. He is not Manny Pacquiao fighting Gennady Golovkin is not like him, Manny Pacquiao moving up to fight Jermall Charlo. Because Manny Pacquiao will get his head spun against a 28-year-old in his prime, middleweight, hungry middleweight. So what's the significance of this? Manny Pacquiao is positioned between Terence Crawford, the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, and Errol Spence Jr., who by many people have him in the top 5, top 6 pound for pound in his weight class. Manny Pacquiao has those two guys to fight to become a unified champion at 147. But if he does not take that, it's not going to be because the money's not there. Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence Jr. is as big or bigger than Manny Pacquiao versus Gennady Golovkin. If Manny Pacquiao versus Terence Crawford is as big a fight as Manny Pacquiao versus Gennady Golovkin, the money is there. The same money is there. Those are all pay-per-view fights. But what's the difference? Manny Pacquiao will lose against Errol Spence Jr. Manny Pacquiao will lose against Terence Crawford, because those young men are going to be able to get up for the fight. Those guys have been looking and wanting to beat Manny Pacquiao for a long time, and Gennady Golovkin is over the hill. The only question is, how far over the hill is Gennady Golovkin? Now, if you look at this, when Manny Pacquiao's done, this would be the second time he did this. Because he was in the ring with Errol Spence Jr. after the Errol Spence Jr. Mikey Garcia fight. And Errol Spence Jr. asked for the fight, and he said, yeah, why not? And I've said this then, I said it then, I'm going to say it now. I'll tell you why not, because Manny Pacquiao's going to lose. Because Manny Pacquiao is 41 years old. And if you listen to what Manny Pacquiao said after what he told Andre Berto after the Keith Thurman fight, he said, man, it might have looked easy, but he said he went no party, no celebrations, straight to the hospital, and then after that, straight to bed for rests. Because not even a young Keith Thurman, not a prime Keith Thurman, gave him a nice bit of thumping. Now, what about Gennady Golovkin? Gennady Golovkin's slow-footed, he's slow-fisted, and old. He is still a danger to Manny Pacquiao, certainly. Some people might say that that would favor Manny Pacquiao, him to beat Manny Pacquiao. But what my premise is that him going up to fight Gennady Golovkin is no different than him moving away from Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford to go fight Gennady Golovkin is the exact same thing as Canelo Alvarez bypassing Demetrius Andrade for the undisputed title at 160 pounds and dropping his WBC belt, becoming the franchise guy in order to not fight his mandatory Jermall Charlo. This is the same move. It is the same orchestrated duck, but instead of moving down, you move up in weight to duck a guy next to you. You can see it if you could see it in a lower level. For example, if you're a 147 pound fighter and 147 pounds is stacked, but 154 pounds is weak, then move up to 154. Because then you can get a belt easier. Shoot, all you got to do is beat Teixeira, right? Now I know 154 is stacked, but you get my point, right? Well, at least that's my point. I hope you understand my point. But just get prepared. Get prepared for it, because if he does this, he will be the greatest fighter of all time, and you'll be spending all kind of years, like as a boxing fan, explaining to people, nah, dude, I'm not going for this Gennady Golovkin stuff. The dude was washed up, and he moved up, and he fought a washed up dude. More than likely, there's not going to be any steroid testing. Man, just get out of here, dude. These people need to start fighting people in their own weight classes. Okay, finish out your weight class and then move up, because there are times when you have better fighters at a lower weight class. That's just what it is. And again, back to my original point, one of my original examples, Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. had a better fighter to fight at 175, a more difficult fight for him at 175 than there was for a heavyweight championship. And you should see that same dynamic played over and over and over again to market these guys as doing super exceptional things that have never been done before. But while they're doing these super exceptional things that never have been done before, they're not taking care of the things that they need to do, that they're supposed to do in order for them to be considered the best fighter in the weight division, which is beat the guys in your own doggone weight division who are better than the cherry picks you're taking when you go up in weight. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think. And with that, I'm out. Peace.